What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to channel ANDERZÉN. I don't know if what's going to go down in this video is actually going to go down, but I figured if it does, I might as well start filming right now, because if it does, this is the craziest deal ever. But yeah, stay tuned. Guys, the deed is done, and I may or may not have snagged something very cool. I'll show you guys in the garage so you can see. All right, guys, I did something. I don't know if I did a good thing yet. Anyone knows what these are? Anyone know what these are? Potentially. These are, right now, what I don't know for sure yet, Volk CE28 SLs. They're 18x9, supposedly in a 5x112, and an ET30. Now, reps are very good nowadays, so I don't know for sure yet. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more digging to see if these are in fact authentic, but I picked these up for such a good deal, and most of the tests that I did on them kind of passed the checklist, so I figured it was worth a shot for relatively low cost. So if they end up not being authentic, I can probably flip them off, or just sell them and take better pictures than what they were listed for and sell them. But you just saw the weight was 44.1. That's been between 42 and 44 depending on where I weigh them at, but like where I put the scale on the ground. So that's about accurate. These should be around 17 and a half pounds, and the tires should be between 24 to 26. So could be anywhere from like 41 to 45, 46 pounds with the tires on the wheel. So I don't know for sure, but anyways, let me go ahead and show you what I do know, or what I can see at this point. So number one, the stamps all in the front check out somewhat thus far. It does have the raised stamp, it has the monoblock stamp, it has forged, it has the JWL or whatever it is next to the valve stem, which is supposed to be there. It has this identification. So there were a couple things that made me iffy on if they are in fact full legit or not. One of them being normally, well, the ones I can find, that's the thing, is there's so many different versions of these, and all of them are kind of different depending on like what lug pattern they are and what size they are. But the ones that I did find did have holes in between the lug bolts. So that's one thing that may be a little bit iffy on them. And then what else? This is just grime from sitting around. Other things, they don't have the stickers on them, which, I mean, they could definitely be taken off if they're an old enough wheel, regardless. But I know that is a thing with Volks to have the stickers on the inner barrels of the wheel. These ridges seem correct from what I can find online. Those should be there, and all the identifications on the spokes, there's 18x9. Let's see, they have a H, a C, 13 with those numbers, I'm not sure what those mean. 14 with those numbers, I'm not sure what those mean. There's an M, an ET. That ET is rubbed off, but let me get another one that you can see the 30 on. See, they're pretty light, just throwing them around. Let me grab a what's it called, a flashlight real quick. All right, so there you can see on this one, ET30 is still there. That was one other thing. Finding these in 5x112 is very difficult, and when you do, it is, from what I saw, the only ones I could see were like an ET38 and 18x9. But with the thing with Volks and these wheels in general, there's so many different versions of them, and it's just hard to know what actually existed at what period in time. So, you know, I don't know for sure. The other thing I did while I was there was I measured between the bolt holes to see if I could find the PCD number. For 5x112, it should be 4.41. And the tricky thing is for 5x114.3, it's 4.5. So that's a, you know, 0.09 difference between the two. So it's hard to distinguish, but what you do is you measure from the back end of one of the holes to the center of the other hole. Now, normally some wheels will have a line with the diameter going across, and makes it a little bit easier to kind of line up where that middle is. So I was measuring that a few times. Sometimes it looked like 4.5, sometimes it looked like less. So that will kind of be told once I can test fit them on the car. It does have some, what's it called, hub lips on them right now. I'll need to knock these out. These are 73.1, I believe, to a 57.1. These were on a Audi B5 S4 previously. So I don't know for sure yet. I gotta test them on the C55 to make sure they're 5x112, but Audis are 5x112 as well. So if they fit on there, theoretically they are. But I do know that some 5x114.3s can fit on 5x112s, and some people don't even notice the difference or ever know that they, you know, don't have the correct wheel. So yeah, I don't know for sure, but regardless, feel like it was worth the risk. And the previous owner of the wheels was very straightforward and super cool guy. So shout out to you, Dalton, for being just easygoing and flexible. And he was with me trying to figure out like what was authentications and whatever when I was sitting there on my phone and checking these over the specs. He was trying to look up stuff on his own too to try to help me verify if these were in fact authentic, because he never really knew. He got them off of somebody else that were on another Audi, and then used them on his Audi for a while. And yeah, anyways, long story, but yeah, I don't know for sure, but I think by looking at them, the quality, the feel of them, and the weight, it was enough to be like, all right, this is worth the price that I can get these for. Not to mention, they still have at least rollable tires right now. They are old. They're good tires originally. They're Pirelli P7s, some all seasons, and a 245 40/18, which actually will fit on the C55 perfect. But they're definitely old. They're not like super dry rotted, but you can definitely start to see some dry rot starting to take place. So not something I will want to travel on, and they're worn out anyways. So these will just be for test fit purposes, and if they fit good, then I will plan on finding myself some tires and getting some installed. If these check out and I can verify that they are in fact authentic and 5x112, I will most likely be selling the Motegi's that are on the C55. So that being said, I think that's about all I can add to the video right now. The next clip you guys will see after that is me trying to test fit it on the C55 tomorrow evening. All right, you guys, it's the next day. Just copped a major pickup. Let's go test fit some wheels. All right, guys, I'm about to test fit these on the car, but I just took out one of the center rings, and it measured what looks like 66.6. So the plot thickens a little bit more so. I thought these were 73.1, but I don't think so after all. So I don't know. I guess test fitting is the only way to find out. I am not too optimistic right now because this amount of lip, if you guys remember, the front hub design on the W203 and a bunch of different Mercedes is pretty annoying. There's a gigantic hub that has the grease cap on it on a lot of different Mercedes models in the front, and it makes fitting pretty difficult. So if I don't have enough depth here, there's not much I can do. I already have a 20 mil spacer on it, and I can't really run much more with this offset without having a bunch of poke on the wheels. So my only options would be like basically having a machine shop drill these centers out to match the bore on here. But that's kind of a lot of work. So to be continued. Let's find out if they will even fit at all. All right, guys, as expected, doesn't quite work. Good news is, I mean, theoretically, if I could get them to fit, they would fit. They are 5x112, and it does seem like they are 66.6, but let me pull this off real quick and I'll explain. So this is the 20 mil cap spacer on the Mercedes that you have to run. You can see there's basically a step lip inside to get over this little edge of the grease cap, which is a little bit wider than the 66.6 hub bore, which is back here. So it's traditional spacers can't clear it. You have to basically get these cap style, or you have to get the ones that are floating, essentially, like they don't have the hub ring on them. They're just being held on by the wheel studs. So essentially, if I put the wheel on without it, let me show you real quick. So here is the wheel sitting loosely on this, and it's actually like, it's very close with, what's it called? Like being able to fit through that thing, actually. Like really close, but it just doesn't quite. And even if it did, I think it would probably end up running into the brake caliper if it was to sit all the way on here anyways. So I knew with these I would need at least, you know, a 15 mil spacer or so. And it kind of seems like the other idea I had was basically cutting off these caps, because with the amount, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but the amount that is left over there kind of looks exactly like around 20 millimeters. So my idea was, if I could, you know, lop the caps off of these real quick, then there may be a chance that these could fit. All right, guys, we got a helper in the garage. I have one last attempt. For measuring right now, when I put the wheel on without the spacer, you got that?
Yeah.
When I put the wheel on without the spacer, it seems like it will fit. Because the distance between where the grease cap hit on here and between the back of the wheel and the actual rotor was only about 16 or 17 mil. So with this being 20 mil, and if I take the caps off, theoretically they should fit. To be determined. I'm gonna saw this cap off. It's worth it to try, at least, and we'll go from there. I am even more confused about what these wheels possibly could be, or their authenticity, knowing that these are what seems to be 66.6 hub bore. Kind of crazy. Did not expect that at all. And them being 5x112, that is, looks like they definitely are. They're very light, holding them even compared to the 17-inch Motegis, which are an extremely light wheel. I am optimistic. All right, guys, I'm going for it. I don't really have much to lose besides the caps off of these. So it's about 13.3 millimeters that I need to lop off here in order to make this work. Again, theoretically. But like I said, might as well try. Don't think this is perfectly straight, but close. So let's give it a run. All right, guys, not so bad for not being a machine. It's not perfect, but look at this. It fits. Literally, like, pretty close actually too. Like, good place to stop for it. So let's line these up and see if I can pop these on. You guys, I am beyond pumped right now. I can't believe that worked out. Oh my gosh, man. That's pretty cool. I'm very relieved. I was gonna be low-key big disappointed if these didn't have working out, all because of that freaking front hub design. Man, this is sick. All right, well, let's lower it down. Because they're 18 by 9, so because of that, compared to the 17 by 8.5s, which are with the 20 mil spacers, basically a 15 millimeter offset. These are with the 20 millimeter spacers, a 10 millimeter offset and a 9-inch. So we're gonna get about 6 millimeters more a poke and 6 millimeters closer to the shock, but we got plenty of room back here, so I'm not worried about that. But I am well, no, I'm not concerned about that, not really, but it will be poking out a little bit. Anyways, enough talking. Let me try to lower this on the ground and see what we got. Okay, one other thing I wanted to check real quick was the clearance between the tire and this bottom of the strut tower. But looking at the other side, which I know has been working, it is actually a little closer on this side. So that should be good as well. Let's go ahead and drop her down and just see what she looks like. Yo, it's good to be back on the 18 life. This is sick. It's definitely poking. The thing that you guys don't know yet is I may or may not have gotten a sponsorship for coilovers a while back that are waiting to go on. And I also have the camber arms. So we're gonna end up running probably -2.5 to 3 degrees of camber in the front eventually. So what you see now here is probably gonna end up tucking in a little bit more than it is. And honestly, I don't mind this because I know it won't rub in the front. And yeah, it's fine with me. I kind of want to test fit the back right now, but I'm also kind of in a time crunch, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to right now. But this was the only part I was worried about, if the fronts will clear. I know the rears will clear if these do, so that can probably wait. Supposedly a 9-inch ET30 fits very well in the back, so I might not even need to run the spacer in the back anymore. But I can see what it looks like with and without when I do test fit. Dude, I can't even, I'm so pumped right now. I have C28 SLs on the C55. I don't even think this is possible. These are dope. I don't even know if they're real or not, but they're light as hell. They have most of the right stamping. They're the correct hub bore, which is a bonus surprise that I did not expect. I don't like running hub-centric rings, even though I know they're not the big deal. I just don't like running them. And they fit properly. And they're exactly what I wanted to get. One reason I didn't tell you guys, I don't think, why I wanted to go back to 18s. With 18s, I have the possibility to, again, in the future, switch to the 6-piston front brake setup. It's not something that I really want to do or feel like is completely necessary, but I just want to have the option available because I have come across those kits here and there for really good prices. And if I see one again, I'll probably go for it just because, you know, it's one of those upgrades that is not that hard to do. Pretty easy actually on the C55, and I'm kind of running out of things like that to do to this car. So all of those little factory upgrades I can get under my ownership, you know, for the rest of the time. I would like to keep those options available. So that's one big reason I want to go back to 18s. And besides that, I just kind of missed the look. I felt like sometimes when I look at the car, 17s just seemed a bit small on it. And I definitely like the look of this. I also love the fact that I have interchangeability now. You know, I can keep running these as like, either one of these options could be the dedicated track wheel and the other one could be, you know, more of a winter setup or all season setup. So I am so stoked. I can't run these right now, unfortunately, because the tires are just no good, no bueno at all. So I'm gonna order up some tires on these, order up some tires for these, go ahead and get them mounted. And once I do, you already know, summer's coming around the corner. I'm gonna throw them on. Can't wait to see what the entire car looks like with these, but man, what a relief. What a steal of a deal. If you guys knew what I paid for these, excellent. Just find, and I'm so happy that I found them. I've been searching for a nice set of 18s for months now, and I just hadn't found anything that I really liked or in the proper offsets. And for those of you guys out there in the 5x112 world, you know it's hard sometimes to find good wheels that fit our cars properly. The higher offset cars, you got a lot more to choose from, like the 35 plus, those are easier to come by, you know, 35s, 45s, but finding stuff that's a low enough offset to be able to use with the spacer, or, you know, hard to come by with good wheels and for deals. So dang, this is sick. I have Volks on the C55, potentially. I don't even know, but I don't care, to be honest, you guys. I'm not one for running reps necessarily because I kind of feel like it's dangerous somewhat, but all the things check out on these wheels, everything that I can find is looking like they're legit. The weight is correct. The feel of them is correct. None of it looks casted. Like if you look at the back of the wheel, none of it looks casted. It feels forged, and that's kind of a dead giveaway, the feel of the wheels. So combine that with all the other stamping and etc. I don't know. You guys tell me. I am not a Volk expert whatsoever. Somebody might tear me to shreds in the comments if they know what Volks are or know everything about them, but I don't know. And because I can't really find any imagery of 5x112 Volks online, this model, I don't really know what to go off of. So if you know better, please let me know. But like I said, with how they feel and everything, I wouldn't even really be concerned if they weren't 100% authentic or whatever. So yeah, guess I would just leave you guys here and let you imagine. Obviously, probably need to get rid of a little bit of that gap up there, but I'm not a fitment boy by any means. So I'm all about function over form. And these seem like they will function very well. So I'll leave it there. You guys have a great one. Catch you on the next one. Peace.